Well, what's up, you guys? Thanks for joining in here with DallasFlipin here. I see we got Flippin' Mike and Outcountry Sales so far in the chat. Thank you guys for joining us and watching. If you guys are new to my stream, you can subscribe if you want, but do me the favor of liking the video at least, because we're liking the video for DallasFlipin, taking his time out of the day to join us here. So if nothing else, you guys just like the video, and we're going to talk vintage toys and have a little bit of fun showing off some cool stuff that he has. And I'll let Dash here introduce himself.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you, Kyle, for having me, first of all. And yes, my name is Dash. I have a YouTube channel and Instagram called DallasFlipin, and I go around to thrift stores, flea markets, I dumpster dive. I meet people on the street, and I ask them if they have stuff to sell, and I sell it on eBay for a profit.
And your plug, you're in Dallas there, but so I'm from Texas too, and I know when you say that you're from Dallas, that could mean Irving, Arlington, that could mean whatever. So where exactly are you at in Dallas?
I am actually in Dallas, East Dallas, between like the White Rock Lake, Mesquite area, Casaview.
Okay.
In South Dallas, you know where Fair Park is?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I'm right in between Fair Park and Town East Mall, so that stretch of I-30 from downtown to Mesquite.
Okay,
it's my stomping ground. I was born over here. I'm the seventh generation person to live in this area, and I ain't going anywhere.
Well, it's like when somebody says they're from Houston, it's like, okay, I know what that can actually mean. Like, the cities are so large that you don't know where exactly.
Right, they live in the Woodlands or something, and they don't actually live in Houston.
Right, exactly. So I got you on here because I'm genuinely curious about how you find so many vintage toys and like the video games and stuff, because I don't seem to come across it that much, and I don't know if it's that I'm not going to the right places. I don't know if I'm getting there late. I don't know what it is.
Well, first of all, you got to take my class. I'm kidding. You got to wake up in the morning, and the first thing you think about is, how am I going to make money today? I'm like a dog on point. When you go hunting, you've got to seek it out. You've got to take no for an answer. You've got to be ruthless. And it sounds kind of silly, but you've really got to enjoy the thrill of the hunt, so to speak. And it never hurts to ask someone, like, hey, you go to a garage sale and I see a bunch of like older Mexican ladies just selling clothes, like nothing else but clothes. And I'll stop and I'll act like I'm interested in the clothes. And I'll just ask them in Spanish, do you have any video games, toys, trading cards? And 5 out of 10 times, oh, sure, I'll be right back. And they come out with a box of DS games or a PS3 or, N64. And I'm like, how much you want? Oh, $20. Cool. Give her the $20. Have a good day. Thank you. Go about my business. The last time I did that was like the week or two before Christmas. You remember it was really warm. At least it was up here. I think you're about an hour away from me. So it was pretty warm like the week or two before Christmas. And they had a bunch of little signs, no like actual posted garage sales on Craigslist or anything like that. I went to one of those garage sales and I asked the lady, do you have any video games? And she's like, let me ask my daughter. What comes out? Yeah, I think so. My son's got stuff in the garage. Dude, they brought out an entire like laundry basket full of, I got 2 PS2s, a PS1, 3 PS3s, and a bunch of games. Everything but one system worked. I paid $20, literally. I'm not BSing you. $20 for everything. I sold everything but the one PS1 that doesn't work.
Yeah, I guess you're just asking when you go to the garage sales. Even if it's not out there, you got to make sure you're asking.
Yeah. Closed mouth don't get fed.
So are you, do you find that it's easier to find them at the garage sales or the thrift stores, or how are the prices around there for the thrift stores?
The thrift stores are wising up, and they're taking a lot of the fun out of the hunt, because like at one of my local thrift stores, they put out 2 GameCubes on Tuesday. They want $100 for each GameCube, no cords, no games, no nothing. And I'm thinking they're going to sit in the cabinet, in like display cabinet, for 6 months until they mark it down $10, and no one's going to buy it for $90 or $80.
Right.
But I do get lucky, because usually the toys come in a big bag for like 80 cents. Well, here's an example here. If I can open the bag. They're little paratroopers from like the 60s or 70s. It says Imperial toys, 1975. I got 3 of them. There's in a lot in a baggie. I don't honestly know how much these are worth, but this is like my toy death pile. Here's a bolo item for those of you who don't know. This is a Monster High doll, and I can get it in a toy bag for 80 cents to $3. Monster High dolls can be worth $5 or $500. That is not a joke. If they have the clothes and the stands and their hair doesn't look like this, you can probably get $20 per doll. And if you spend the time to get online, find forums, and look up the name, this is Spectra Von Geist or something like that. She's a ghoul. I know that because I've looked up 1,000 of these dang dolls. But if I had everything for her, she's $50. Stand, brush, clothes, and some of them came with trading cards. But it's all about taking the time to learn the market of what you're into. Because, I mean, you can go and start garage selling and like, oh yeah, I can buy a video game for $60 and sell the whole console for $200. Like, yeah, sure you can, but you know, you've got to specialize, and that's what I do. I specialize in vintage toys, trading cards, video games, and I nail it every time.
Yeah, yeah. I've actually picked up a couple of those Monster High dolls, but we got Outcountry Sales here says praise the Monster High dolls.
Yes,
I found a few of them, but not many of the Monster Highs myself.
and even so, it's rare to come across some. I do have one in the box if you want to see it. I got it at a garage sale for $5. I even asked it wasn't a little girl. She was like a teenager. She's like, you know, I'm outgrowing these dolls. I have a playset. And I said, well, do you have any more? And she's like, well, let me go see. She comes out with 2 in a box, brand new in the box. I was like, $10 each. That's like, you know, $10 for both. And she's like, that's fine. I didn't even look them up. You know, I sold one for like 130, and I still have the other one available for selling. It's $60. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when it sells. It's instant. It's guaranteed money.
Right, right. Yeah, that's a good. That's good. What else do you have there to show us? You had some goodies.
Well, you want to see video games? You want to see some more toys? What do you want?
Let's show us that Game Boy you got there.
So this is one of my holdovers from the summertime. It's the original Game Boy from '89. It's in the Toys R Us case. It has the official Nintendo seal. It's in great condition, and it has, let's see, all three Mario Land games: Super Mario Land 1, 2, and 3. And they come in the little cases. And then I got Kirby's Dream Land 1 and 2 also with the cases, and I have the original Game Boy Manual. I paid $85 for this, and again, this is where it pays to ask questions. I met a guy from Craigslist just to buy the Game Boy. So I was like, you know, that's really cool. Do you happen to have anything else? So bear in mind, I'm $80 in right here. He's like, yeah, I'll be right back. He comes out with a box: Sega Genesis, Sega Game Gear, 2 or 3 more Game Boys, and I was like, all right, how much for everything? I forget the exact number, but I spent about $800 that day with this guy. N64, PS2, PS3, PS4, you name it. I bought everything that the dude had. And it all came from, do you have any more? And he kept pulling stuff out. And I was like, I was throwing him money. At this point, he was just like, you want to buy my watch? You want to buy my, you know, I was just like, yeah, I had like a wad of cash. And I think I made about $4 to $6 grand off of that. And I still have 2 or 3 things available still for sale.
So you got that on Craigslist ad. You put a Craigslist ad out saying that you buy video games.
Yeah, and the guy's like, I want to sell you my Game Boy or whatever. And I was like, sweet. And then, you know, standing on his front porch, I said, do you have any more? Do you have any more? Do you have any more? And he's like, why don't you just come inside? It's ridiculous.
Craigslist was too outdated, but I mean, I keep hearing these stories of people mailing Craigslist ads. So I guess I'm going to have to put some out there.
Yeah, and it does, like I said, never hurts to try. And yeah, I posted one earlier for a barter thing. Like, I just put all my big ticket items on there, and I said, you know, hey, I buy, sell, I trade. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I have. You know, you shoot me a message, send me some pictures, see what you got, and instantly I got about 30 messages to my phone via text message about, you know, let me pay you by check. Let me scam you. Let me, like, you know, and send me an email. And it's one of the, it's like a double-edged sword, because it's like there are people that are interested, and there are, you know, what are they called? Nigerian scammers.
Yeah. Craigslist has a lot of that still on there, I think. So you were talking your Legos there. I got that tub of Legos that I found at the garage sale, and it's got about 70 minifigures in it. But you were saying that you had some Legos, or you're not doing the Legos?
I do. I don't like to do here. Let me see. Let me grab them real quick. I got it should be in one of the little drawers. I've got everything disorganized. So here are two off the top of my head that I still have. They're two of the same figure, and I usually just put them in, like you said, a lot, or I just put them in a big bulk thing. They're the original Spider-Man. I had three. I sold one from 2002, 2003 when they released the original Lego sets, and he's about a $20 to $25 figure by himself. And
Yeah,
it's worth looking them up. That's the only thing, is that it takes time to figure out who they are, look them up in the sets.
yeah, that's true. I think that one that I bought, there's about 70 in there. The Chewbacca might be okay, and then there was a set of SpongeBob in there. It had SpongeBob, Patrick, and Mr. Krabs. It didn't have the little squirrel girl, whatever her name is.
Sandy.
Yeah. If it would have had her, then it was for the set probably like $30. I think. But I paid $15 for the whole tub, and
exactly.
70 minifigures is probably at $1.50 a piece, you're over $100 right there. So that's, to me, if the bin is cheap enough, I still pick the Legos up, and I've noticed that the prices have gone down. I used to sell the Legos by pound a lot more, but here lately, everybody figured it out, and the price has gone down.
Right.
Mike's into Lego all the
way.
Yeah,
he's big into Legos. He has a bunch actually for sale. He builds them and then he sells the sets, or like I guess the retired sets.
Okay.
There was something I was thinking. Oh, I have a lady that I have a connection with, which is another thing I was going to say. It's like, if you go out to estate sales, it's good to like communicate and say like, hey, I buy this, this, and this, and here's my number. And 9 times out of 10, they're not going to text you. They're not going to call you. They're going to forget about it. But that one time that someone reaches out, it had it happen twice. This one lady I'm mentioning here, she texted me about stuff, and she actually was like, hey, I have some Lego sets and they're complete. She sent me pictures of them, and she's like, they've never been opened. And I was like, okay. So I looked up the sets, and they're $100, $150 a set. Well, I went, sure enough, they were opened, but they were still in the packaging. And so I gave her $30 for both of them, and I sold both of them within a week on eBay.
Yeah, I do that a little bit myself, passing out business cards and stuff like that. But I haven't had any big hauls from doing that yet. But I know that it's just consistency. You got to keep doing that, and eventually you'll have somebody call you up with lots of stuff to sell that's worth a lot of money.
Yep. And my whole thing is, don't be afraid to fail. I mean, like, if I failed, I don't stop failing. And that's the whole point, is that you've got to learn. You've got to fall and get back up, because like, you're not going to get anywhere in life, especially what we're doing, if we can't, branch out. You know what I mean? Because it's like, at first I started just reselling anything that would make me money, and then it got to where you were buying stuff that sits and sits and sits and sits and sits, and like you sold those football things the other day. I saw you vitals. I was like, he's not going to sell those. And then like 2 or 3 days later, you sold them, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Hey man, when I first started, because I'm doing it full time now, but I used to do it part time because I was a high school teacher and a coach. But when I first started doing it part time, I mainly did sporting equipment because I played sports and stuff, so I knew the value of stuff. And
right.
Football helmets, football pads, and golf clubs, and all that stuff is crazy amounts of money in it.
Absolutely. Yeah,
you got to fall to run. That is absolutely true. You got to get back up though. So are you? You're full time, right? You do this full time.
All I do. My grandmother told me, I wish you'd get a real job, and I was like, oh, thanks. I guess, like, I don't have trouble paying my bills. Like, it's just it's kind of like a negative connotation that, like, you sell, like, I buy, sell, and trade for a living, and I guess to someone who worked all their life at, like, a 9-to-5 job, it seems very taboo.
Yeah. Same thing happened to me actually when I went to Thanksgiving last year. I had told my mom and them that I was going to be doing this full time, and then they said, you can't do that full time. You got to get a real job. Well, then this Thanksgiving, when I went back, I showed them how much I made, and they didn't have anything to say. They were just like, oh, okay, I guess you can do this full time. And then my mom, she starts telling other people, oh, this is what my son does now. So
yeah. Yep. That's like the thing. My mom even said, like, don't tell people your secrets or the places you go, like your best spots, because then they're going to want to do it too. And I agree to a certain point, but the thing is, it's up to you. A lot of people give me, crap because I don't have a real job or whatever, but not everybody gets up in the morning and then consistently performs, consistently gets results. You know what I mean? So
right.
yeah, they can, like, I know you do FBA. A lot of people are doing FBA, but not everyone takes it seriously like you're taking it seriously, and they're not getting results.
Yeah. I'm trying to, I mean, I got to be consistent with that. I'm sending a box in a week. And so maybe it'll get to 2 boxes, but currently it's at 1 box. And it's doing pretty good so far. I think I'll hit my goal by the end of the year, which I set a pretty low goal. I didn't realize that Amazon could be, you hear these stories about how crazy the sales on Amazon can be. I didn't realize that it would actually be like that, like hundreds of dollars the first day your stuff gets there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely one of those things you got to just keep replenishing and stay consistent with, and keep sending stuff in mainly. But eBay's the same way for me. Is like you have to build that pipeline up, and I'm sure you know about that. How many listings do you have?
Earlier I was talking to another friend of mine, and he was trying to, like, I guess he's like, I'm not trying to brag, but like I've got like 900 listings, so I got like close to 1,400. So I know it's over 1,000, but I'm not sure the exact number. I want to say at least 1,020 to 1,400. I'm not positive.
So yeah, did you say 1,400 or 1,000?
1,400, yeah, 1,400.
So you're double what I am then, at least.
Yeah, I try to at least list 2 things a day, and like I have an entire death pile here. So if I get 3 things that I know are good performers, I'll list them. I'll prioritize the more expensive stuff first, and then if I don't find anything sourcing that particular day, I'll get something out of a pile and list it.
Right. Yeah. So you have a productive death pile is what I like to call it. It's there for a rainy day when you need it, but you don't necessarily need to list the stuff in it because it might not be as valuable as some of the other stuff that you found.
But when there's nothing else to do, you need stuff to list. Kabam. Right.
I imagine too that your cost of goods is maybe cheaper than mine, probably. You were showing me some of those Trolls dolls there that you have. You want to show those?
I don't know how much they're worth, but I know that I got them in an entire box at a garage sale for like $5, and that's where I got I've got this car here. I don't know what it's like, a Camaro looking Z28. It just says made in the USA. It's an older toy, a vintage Barney. If you're old enough to know that. It's from 92.
Yeah.
And I sold one similar to that. Now this one is really cool. It's the McDonald's food menu.
Okay, and that's good.
Yeah, it's breakfast and then it goes to lunch. It's kind of hard to do because it's so old, but it works.
All right, we got Josh Stewart here says, do you have a flea market you go to in the Dallas area?
There are several. There's one on Harry Hines. I don't really care to go there because of the area. The best one would be in Garland. It's called the Plaza Garland. It's a little high, but they have everything that you're looking for. There's another spot right down the street from my house. It's the Buckner Bazaar. It's on Buckner and Bruton before you get to Lake June, and it's mostly like quinceañera and cowboy stuff. But there's a big toy booth. There's a place that sells trading cards and like candy, and it's kind of hit and miss in all those spots. But those are the only ones worth mentioning in Dallas. Unless you want to go to Big T, but they sell like Nikes that are spelled like Nikeee.
What does it cost to get into your flea markets there?
No. Trader Traders Village would be one in Arlington. It's a giant. I wouldn't call it a flea market. It's like an open air market. You have to pay to park at Traders Village, and you have to pay to get in. So, but I don't go there.
Most of the ones around here, you have to pay an entrance fee, which kind of turns me off to going to it because I'm like, I have to pay to get into this thing that I'm going to spend money at anyway. But
if your wife and kids go with you, then it costs more money to waste time.
Yeah, you have to pay. I think it's $5 a head to get into the ones around here. I've actually been doing it full time now for just over a year, and I haven't been to a flea market yet. I went to a flea market before, but I haven't since I've started full time. Josh says he has been to the Traders Village.
Yeah, Traders Village is not impressive. I mean, the amount of people there. But I mean, like, if you go there there used to be a place I used to go to for Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They had it top of the market. You couldn't make any money. You would trade your cards to them, or they would buy like your action figures and stuff, but they would give you pennies on the dollar, and they turn around and stick your, Vegeta figure up there for $200.
Right. Yeah. I saw that you have a bunch of Pokemon cards on your eBay page, actually.
Oh yeah, I got some here I can show you. I use the Ultra Pro binder for listing, but yeah, I collect Pokemon cards, but these are some first gen cards on the top. You have some what?
Where do you anytime I come across Pokemon cards, everybody already knows the value of them, and like,
yeah, I blame Logan Paul for that crap. But the most expensive Pokemon card I ever sold was $800. It went international to Australia, and I lost sleep over that because it took like a month to get there, even though I shipped it, like international priority or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. It was like last year where PayPal phased out into managed payments on eBay. And it was like one of the last PayPal transactions. And I was like, I spent this money on groceries. I spent this money on food. I spent this money on everything I could possibly spend the money on. And it's gone. And I kept checking eBay feedback. And it was like, so-and-so responded, great card, great shipping, really enjoy it. Thank you for the deal. And I was like, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, those international sales, sometimes you get a return and it's like it's 60 days later or something. You're like, what? I forgot I even sold that thing, like 60 days ago.
I do have one thing I want to show you, which it's not toys or video games. It's definitely vintage. Let me grab it.
And I know Cameron Belt liked those Pokemon cards right there. If he's still in the chat right there, he definitely enjoyed those Pokemon cards.
So this is something I would pick up for myself, especially when I was younger, because as a little boy, I was very fascinated with swords. But a little cheat code, if you don't know, is an app called Yard Sale Treasure Map. Yeah. It takes all the listings from eBay, Craigslist, Nextdoor, all that stuff, and puts it in one app, and it shows you geographical location. So I frequent church sales. And I found this nice little sword at a church sale. And the lady wanted like some crazy price on it, like $150. So I picked it up, I checked it out, and it is very heavy. It weighs about 4 or 5 pounds. It smells like rust. But it has a little monogram down here. It says B&M Mexico. I think B&M is a bowel movement, but I'm not that kind of doctor. Irregardless, it's cool. I paid $50 for it. I thought I'll take a chance. I did some research. I found on WorthPoint. The sword is from 1870 something, Mexican Civil War, valued anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000.
That's pretty cool.
And it's got like 6 or 7 watches. It's actually one of my featured things if you go to my eBay store. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And the best sales are the ones you don't expect. Like you wake up and, it's there. Like, best offer received and stuff like that. I always turn offers on. Some people don't like offers, but on a high dollar item.
Yeah. Especially if you're not 100% sure what the market is on it, you kind of got to let the market figure itself out for it.
Right.
Flippin' Mike here says that they have the Map app. Is that a yard sale app? Is that what you're saying? Flippin'
yeah,
Mike?
He's just calling it like slang the Map.
The Map app. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, so they went through all that trouble where they don't have the licensing from Craigslist anymore to pull off of Craigslist. And so here in Austin, everybody puts their garage sales on Craigslist. So I can just use the Craigslist app and pull up the map of it. and it shows me, you know, hundreds, 200 garage sales, whatever it is, once the summer starts going.
Oh, I know, it's crazy. But sometimes it won't pull everything from either thing. So like I'm on Nextdoor. I don't do Facebook Marketplace. I think it is the cesspool of everything. Plus they won't allow you to do a lot. And I don't use Facebook, and I don't like having to have the Messenger app to talk to someone. It takes up too much space on my phone. And
Yeah, there's it's hard to find garage sales on Facebook too, because they don't have a map. You have to go in and look at each individual address, and it's too time consuming for me.
Right. No return on investment that you're spending 30 minutes trying to figure out where Alta Mesa Boulevard is, and you're like, I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, that's luckily in regards to that, for me, everybody's still using Craigslist, and I can just pull the map up and then plot out where I want to go, and, you know, hit the route in the morning.
Yeah, that's my thing, is that, you know, early mid-March to about, I guess it was like October, I would wake up about 5 in the morning, take a shower, you know, get ready, and then plot out, like you said, where we're going to go.
Yeah. Do you stay in a certain area of Dallas, or are you going to like the affluent areas? Or?
Oh, I stay away from that because they see me in my cars anyways, and then they're gonna, you know, he's in a Mercedes, so he can afford to pay more for this or something like that. So like, I just like going around the neighborhood. I have a map. I go like, you know, this way, that way, and I make a big circle, and I time it to where I'm at the thrift stores, the good ones anyways, when they open on Saturday mornings. And I get a burger right when the burger place opens, and I keep going. And that's the thing, is that like, you've got to mix it up and kind of freestyle, because yes, you have your, I'm going to these 3 sales, but on the way there's a garage sale sign. You turn, you go, and then, you know, it looks like a bunch of junk or, you know, McDonald's toys. Always ask them, you have video games? You have trading cards? You know?
Right. Okay. Yeah. So you're going garage sales, and then you're going thrift stores, then eating lunch, and then you're going garage selling. You're making, like, what do you think? 6 a.m. to 3 p.m.?
Yeah. During the summertime, like, you know, late May to like even August, I would leave the house by 7, go eat breakfast or whatever we need to do. And as soon as the sale started at 8, I'm there. I'm the first one, you know, can I help you set up? Can I go through it? Can I come in? And they're like, you know, wait until we open, or sure. And it doesn't stop.
Last weekend we had three garage sales because it was like 25 degrees here, or whatever it was. It got cold for some reason. So we had 3 garage sales, and one of them said that they had an original Nintendo with like 40 to 50 games. So I was like, I'm going straight there. I was there 30 minutes early, and the guy's like, oh, that already sold. I'm like, man. You're at 7:30, bro. I'm here at 7, and you already sold it.
I drove an hour and something up until like almost Plano. It said, you know, NES, SNES, games, consoles, everything must go, moving sale. It wasn't a bad neighborhood. It wasn't like, you know, super affluent. It's probably like a 4 or 5 bedroom house, and it was that kind of out there, like in the kind of country. And I got there. It was like 6:40 something, and I was sitting in the car like, let's go. And I see people moving, so I just ran up there like, hey, you know what's going on? And I get there, and she's like, oh, well, he already kind of sold the video games. I said, well, did he sell them? Or did he kind of sell them, or do you kind of have them? Well, we have one, but someone else contacted us, and basically they bought it all. And I was like, so why didn't you take it off the listing? Well, I didn't think anyone would care. And I was like, okay, well, can I see what you have left? And so she kind of makes excuses. He comes out. He's like, well, I sold everything. I got a few things. I was like, look, I've got cash. I want to see it. Dude, he brings me out an NES by itself, just an NES, no games, no cords. And I was like, can you test it? Can you show that it works? No. I need $150 for it.
Oh,
I said, what? You need what?
Yeah.
I said, I give you $20. And he's like, no, man. And I was like, all right, cool. And I felt upset and like pissed off that I wasted my time to go out of my way to be the first one at that sale for what?
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt too. I was like, man, I'm here early, and somehow you've already sold it, even though you said you weren't going to sell it. But, you know, Josh Stewart here says you go to garage sales on Thursday and Friday as well.
Absolutely. Some people have garage sales all week long, especially like I said, they have impromptu garage sales, and a lot of people just put crap in their yard. And I frequent those areas. And once it gets warm, and we'll have a few warm days here. I mean, February is coming up, about a week from now. And I promise you, there'll be a weekend in February where it's that one day where it's like you hit 70 or something like that. You better get your happy little butt in the car. I don't care what time it is. I'm taking everybody.
Yeah, that'll be the spring cleaning for sure when that happens. Everybody will be out trying to clean out their garage and stuff.
I go to the bank and I'm like, I need this much in ones, need this much in fives. And the lady's like, what do you do with all this money? You go to strip clubs? I was like, no, I go to garage sales. She's like, okay.
Oh man, I saw that on one of your that you actually go and get ones and fives and tens and 20s, and I'm like, man, I feel bad now because I just show up with like 20s and 50s and 100s.
I've got it here somewhere. Like this is like, these are all ones, like 50s and then 100, and it has the date and everything. And I've got one. It's $500 in fives or something like that. And the lady was like, ran through the machine several times and miscounted. And like I've got $100 in ones in this pocket, and then my wallet's so big I can't get it out of my pocket. And then I got more. I wear like tactical pants, like either zip pockets and stuff, and I have like everything I need to like survive like a Saturday or a Friday all day.
Five resellers, thanks for joining us. And they said, hello, fellow Texans. We went to garage sales in Dallas in some wealthy neighborhoods once, and it was awesome.
Yeah, there was one, wasn't Highland Park, but it was right there next to like Medical City Hospital in a very affluent area. And he had advertised on Nextdoor that they were selling older Nintendo consoles. And so like I got in the car and just shoo. I ended up, giving him my number, and I said, if you don't sell the rest of this stuff, please call me. I'll come and get it, but it'll be at the price, I'm offering it. He's like, all right, if it doesn't sell, I'll call you. And sure enough, Monday afternoon, he's like, hey, you still want to buy the GameCube and the Super Nintendos? And I was like, yes, please. So for $60, I got 2 consoles and a bunch of games.
If the five sellers are still watching here, they can notice the shirt I'm wearing here. I bought this off of them, actually. I can't remember if they got this at a garage sale or what, but I bought this off of them back in the day. I haven't actually been to any garage sales in Dallas, so I have no knowledge of what it would be like or anything.
So what you're saying is we need to have a special weekend where we can have like a Texas reseller meetup where like I show you guys who's in what and what.
I am totally down to do that, actually. It used to happen here in Austin, but they haven't done it in a long time. There was some guys that used to do it, Bonafide Hustler in that group.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
They used to do one down here, and Rally Roots would show up, and the College Picker would come down, like a bunch of, big YouTube guys or whatever, but they haven't done it since probably 4 or 5 years now, and I don't know if they plan on doing it again. But I'd be down to do a meetup for sure. Five Resellers says we got the shirt from a church sale. So much.
All hail the church sale.
Yeah,
I have a George Strait story actually.
All right, let's hear it. Because I'm wearing the shirt, so.
I don't like country music at all, if you can tell. I'm a little bit more extreme, and that's not dissing country music. It's just not my thing. I don't know who George Strait was. I didn't know what he looked like. I'd never heard of him before, ever. And so as a younger guy, my family owned a beach house in Rockport, Texas. And all I know is that George Strait owned a beach house there, too, and his boat was called Day Money. Well, we were kayaking one day, and a friend and I saw this girl without a top on sunbathing. And so as a 13, 14-year-old boy, we would get out, hey, how you doing? And after about 2 or 3 minutes of, I'm assuming, bothering this young lady, I hear a get the heck off my property. The little man in the cowboy hat comes out. I don't think much about it. We jump in the water and get in a kayaks and go away. Well, years later, I'm in college, and I'm in this dorm with this girl, and we're watching the Country Music Awards, having like a pizza party. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, wait, who is that man? She's like, that's George Strait. I said, he pulled a shotgun one time. And she's like, you're lying. I was like, no, I'm not lying.
No, I'm not lying.
No, I'm not.
The five resellers say, do y'all have any grails or bolos that you're still looking for? What's on your list?
You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I am looking for a Griswold number 10 cast iron pan, and I am also looking for a Filson duffel bag. And those are going to be really hard to come by, but hopefully one of these days I find one of those items.
As far as the Holy Grail, I know the best pickup of at least this past 2021. I went to a sale after this. Bear in mind, this is like after 11 o'clock. Eating lunch. Right down the street, there's a sign garage sale, and older lady, and I guess her kids and grandkids were out there, and we started talking. I bought some like Texas glasses and Texas coasters and a couple of like computer parts or something like that. And I was like, "Yeah, any video games?" And she's like, "Yeah, I think my son has some stuff." And so she's going through. She comes out with a box, Super Nintendo, and I was like, "Oh, cool! A couple games, controllers, like 3 or 4 controllers, the console, and everything." I was like, "How much you want?" She's like, "Give me $2." I thought, "Can I just give you 5? I feel bad." And she's like, "No, it's okay. Yeah, I'll take 5." And I gave her $5 for like Killer Instinct, SNES console, and like a couple other games that were $20 a piece. I felt bad, but I mean, it's like the holy grail of garage sales right there. As far as what I would like to pick up, oh man, I've gotten so many good video game buys. The one we call it the Hoarding Grandma sale. If you watched my best guitar garage sale videos of 2021, there's a lady, we call her Hoarding Grandma because she's an older woman and she had all this stuff. Well, later that day, 2-3 times, she called me and I bought like a bunch of Game Boy games, N64 games. I think I spent $180, maybe a little bit more, and it was the holy grail of garage sales that day. And I would love to just wake up one morning and unexpectedly stumble across something that had one sign. It wasn't advertised, it wasn't whatever, and I'm looking for action figures, I'm looking for trading cards. And I had a dream one time that I was dumpster diving and I found a binder full of first edition Ghost Rare Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I woke up and I was kind of upset. And I would love to find something like that.
Yeah, sometimes those I call them freestyling garage sales. Like you have a plan, but then you see a sign that wasn't advertised and you're like, "Hey, I'm going to go that way." And sometimes those turn out to be better, because they weren't advertised and not as many people are at them.
Let me find it. Is it not in this binder? So let me show you something real cool here. First edition Ghost Rare Stardust Dragon. Anyone want to assume how much it's worth?
Let's see. Any comments?
One Yu-Gi-Oh card, just one. Just give me a guess.
I'm gonna say $500.
Okay. Anybody else? Nobody else? Going once, going twice. I came to a garage sale.
So somebody said
$800. That's a little close, but you're more spot on, because at one time they weren't worth a whole lot. Well, they never made them again. They printed them one time in 2008, never made them ever again. And then as the game continued to go on, they refused to reprint them. Well, I went to a garage sale and I bought 3 of them for $1 a piece, and I about pooped my pants. At that time, they were worth $500 to $1,200. In today's market, you're talking about a $6,000 card. Don't believe me? Look it up. First edition Ghost Rare Stardust Dragon. I sold them last year, or in 2020, for about $800 a piece. If I would have held on to them now, the return on $1 investment to $5,000 to $6,000, like, you can't make that crap up.
Yeah, that's I can't.
Yeah, but exactly what you were saying is that you go in there and everyone is, Kelly the Blue Book valued the Pokemon cards, and they got a first edition Charizard Shadowless, and he wants $1 million for it, and you're like, oh, thanks for your time.
Yeah. All right, man. 40 minutes. Appreciate you hanging out.
Yeah, thanks again for having me.
Flipping my reseller. Thank you guys for watching. On Instagram at Dallas channel as well. See you guys next time. Make that meet up.
Yeah, let's do it.
Next week, I'll use book guide, books for gaming. See you later.